Happy Monday. Today is Monday, March 31st, the last day of March. Tomorrow would be April 1st, April Fool's Day. I don't do April Fools around here, but a lot of people do. I'm burning some Palo Santo right now before we get into it. I'm thankful to have some again. I love this stuff. It's like one of the best incense sticks you can get. It's literally solid. It's a wood, Palo Santo. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'll go ahead and say our prayer and then we'll get into it for the day. I hope everybody's having a positive, productive morning so far. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes you in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens your discernment and guides your steps as you go throughout this day. Our God who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, Ashe. Grand Rising, good morning. All right, we're just going to let that sit and smolder. I'll move it a little bit closer. Here we go. I'm not necessarily expecting anybody, but there's a car pulling up. I'm pretty sure it's just the neighbors. Okay. I just got done with the daily devotional. So if you haven't seen that and you see this, go check that out. It's already uploaded. Of course, because it was live. All right. Let me toss my Bible out of the way. All right. We're going to jump right into the different affirmations for the day. Of course, we've got multiple different decks to work with. I'm thankful for the new decks. I'm planning on ordering another new deck today, but I don't really know which one I'm going to order. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to start with our chakra wisdom affirmation card. Then we'll do our grief affirmation and our wild offerings oracle. Dun, da, da, da. I did get my incense burner. So we will light an incense to line up with our chakra of the day. I'm still waiting on my desk. So the setup might change once my desk gets here. We'll just have to wait and see. But I got me some lights put up. So that's nice. Okay, this is too many for us to take. So we'll just keep shuffling. That's too many as well. Okay. We just want one, please. Just one. There we go. Man, they're flying out this morning. All right. First chakra, base chakra, patience. We saw that last week in our affirmators deck, the patience. Okay, so base chakra. I want to say that's Nag Champa, but I could be wrong. Oh, I'm good. Nag Champa. All right. That's good because that'll go well with the Palo Santo, which is still kind of lingering a little bit. Grand Rising, thank you for joining me today. If you didn't catch the other live, I just got through doing the daily devotional live, so that's up for your viewing pleasure. Also, if this is the first time, Grand Rising, hello. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, I have over 600 videos on my channel. Different prayers, affirmations, encouragement, motivation, advice, so definitely go check some of those out. I'm sure there's something that you can find. All right, Now, as observe in nature, growth takes time. Boy, doesn't it. And we try so hard to make that growth go faster, don't we? Good morning, Jennifer. Hello, how are you? I hope you had a good birthday. Uh, this is a time for reflection, persistence, and surrender as things unfold at their own pace. I remain calm and tolerant during any challenging times. I develop quiet hope and expectations based on trust, both in myself and a higher power. That definitely lines up with what we talked about in the daily devotion video this morning. Also, shout out to Dollar Tree and Elegant Expressions Aromatherapy. Those are the incense that I use for the chakras. But as I've mentioned before, I have learned in my Amazon scrolling that there are a lot of different brands that carry chakra incense. So I hope I wasn't wrong in remembering your birthday, Jennifer. I was pretty sure that you were the one that told me last week it was your birthday, but I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, forgive me. Look at that. I've started second guessing myself. All right. That's a bad habit. All right. We'll get a grief affirmation and then we'll get a wild offering oracle for the day. And then we'll jump into all the others. If you have any suggestions on different kinds of decks, maybe that you've seen on other channels or whatnot, different oracle decks, by all means, you know, it wasn't me. My bad, Jennifer. Sorry. I guess I was second guessing myself for a reason. Somebody had a birthday last week. I know that. Anywho, anyways, send me links to the decks. I really want to start growing the decks. I've been trying to order one new one a week just to get some variety. You know, it gets monotonous after a while. Why are they all falling out on the floor? Oh, that one. Okay. There is no time limit on grief. No, there's not. You know, in reality, depending on what kind of grief it is, it's always there lying underneath. You know, it never fully goes away. We actually got two. Though my grief is painful, it is natural, necessary, and a healthy response to my wounds. I can learn to work with these feelings so that they can eventually guide me to a place of healing and safety. Depending on what kind of grief it is, you know, it may take longer than we think is the right amount of time for us to overcome that grief. Perfect example, little bit of a story time. I had to go to the ER yesterday because my ankle just is not getting better. And it was so, I have a very high tolerance for pain. So I know I probably should have went a long time ago. No, I don't do tarot cards. I do oracle cards. Affirmations, encouragement, motivation. We don't do tarot over here. Although I will say tarot did introduce me to the oracle cards, and I did play with that for a while, but that's just not really my thing. So nonetheless, I had to go to the ER yesterday for my ankle, and you know, they come in and, you know, verify all your information, you know, your emergency contact, your phone number. Right. Yeah. Kind of like that. So anyways, the lady came into the room to do that, after they had taken me for my x-ray, and my mother was still my emergency contact. Well, for those of you that don't know, my mother passed away March 21st of last year due to brain cancer. And dude, I just broke. I just started bawling my face off right there in the ER. And you know, the woman apologized, and actually yesterday was my mother's birthday. So it was a very unexpected emotional grieving experience. I don't think I have fully grieved losing my mother just because of the circumstances surrounding our relationship when she did pass. But nonetheless, when and if something like that happens, where that grief just sets in like unexpectedly, like, and you don't know how to deal with it, don't try to shut it off. Let those feelings come out. Wow. Sanctuary. A sanct- a sanctuary resides inside you no matter what is happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath and sit down on the throne of your own heart. A lot of us avoid that quiet time because we're running from our grief. We don't want to feel that grief, which is understandable. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, but to let yourself feel it can very much contribute to the healing process. Feelings need to be felt so that we can overcome them. All right, then we got money. All my finances are in divine order. Love itself knows my needs and is the source for all. I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. Every need will be met through offering to the divine. This is all very much lining up with the devotion video that I already did. That's already up. So if you look at that. Feelings. What was I just talking about? Feelings. All right. Synchronicities. Emotions want to be felt. What did I just say? You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. Bam. Bam. I love it when that happens. All right, let me take a coffee sip. Grand Rising. Happy Monday. All right. Now we'll get a Namaste Stress Less card for the day. Listen to that thunder. The thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. That would be Garth Brooks that sings that song. Storm rolls on out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. I've really enjoyed this deck so far. I really need to get back in the habit of taking pictures of the cards that come out and posting them. There's a lot of, especially the Wild Offering Oracle cards, there's a lot of those that are in my shorts section where you can go and, screenshot the affirmations so that you can say them for yourself. And there are grief affirmations there as well. The future self. Imagine an aged version of yourself, not 5 years older, not 10 years older, but a version of yourself that is satisfied with a long life lived. Have a conversation with this wise old version of yourself. What advice would you get? Build a relationship and get to know this version of you for 8 minutes. You may find that what is bothering you in the present has little to no significance at all. Funny how we can turn a stressful situation into nothing at all. That very much lines up with the devotional video this morning. We're just carrying it on. I love how it does that. I'm not exactly sure where I've heard it before, but that question where, you know, stop for 5 minutes, pause, and think about, if you're stressed about something, if you're overwhelmed about something, if you found out today that your life was going to come to an end quickly and abruptly, is that something that you would still be stressed about? Would it even matter at all anymore if you found out that tomorrow you weren't going to be here? Uh, when you look at things like that, it can really bring it into a different perspective, for real. So there you go. The future self. Talk to your future self. Who's your future self gonna? Who do you want to be in the future? Would that person worry about the things that we're worrying about today? All right, now we'll get an Angel of Abundance Oracle card. I really like this deck as well. This is one of the newer decks. I pray everybody's having a positive, productive day so far today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that. All right, Angels of Abundance. That Nag Champa really did blend well with the Palo Santo. That's good to know. I love finding out about new scent mixtures. Hopefully before too much longer, I'll be able to get back into making my products. There it is. Moonlighting. That's a new one. We haven't seen that one before. She is green with a purple background. My two favorite colors. White doves again. I think almost every card we've gotten out of this deck so far has white doves in it. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon, your dream career will take flight and fully support you. I'm the girl that told you that. Yes. Yes, you did. I knew I had seen your name before. Thank you for reminding me. That very much goes along with this card. I did not start this channel to make money at all. I have never made a dime off this channel, and that's okay. That's not why I came here. When I first, which technically it was 2 channels ago, I've had to redo the channel a couple times for different reasons, but it was all a part of my healing journey. What? Do you you've got really long curly dark hair, don't you? Yes, I found you on my Facebook too. I knew your name sounded familiar. Okay. Yes. Hello. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Wow, that totally just made my day. I started doing this as my own part of my own healing journey. I talked about it in the daily devotional video. There was a time where I did not it's good to see you too, even though I'm not seeing you, but it's good to talk to you too. There was a day and time where I would have never had the confidence to sit and do this and to speak my truth honestly and boldly and comfortably. And that goes back, in the daily devotion video, I talked about it. Sometimes it's our own insecurities, it's our own sense of lack in whatever that is that holds us back, because we think that other people look at us the way we look at us. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they judge us more harshly than they should. Sometimes they love us more than we could even acknowledge or understand. Because if we don't love ourselves, if we're not good to ourselves, then we block those blessings that come from other people. No matter what that blessing is, whether it's love, appreciation, just acknowledgement of our presence. We most of the time we are our own worst enemy. And I've said it many times. There's nothing that anybody can say about me, criticizing me, judging me, whatever the case may be, that I haven't said about myself. I have always been really hard on myself, and I think that goes for most of us. Most of us, we have really big expectations of ourselves, and if we don't meet those expectations, we're very critical of ourselves. And I think it's important to remember that, we're all on individual journeys, and the most important part is loving ourselves just the way we are so that we can become who we're meant to become, no matter what that is. Everybody has a different journey. Okay, now we'll pull from the Affirmators deck. I really like this deck. The childlike artwork it just makes me smile. And look at that. I told you we got patience last time. We got patience was our chakra affirmation for the day, and we got it last time from the Affirmators deck. All right. It was the unicorn on the box that drew me to this deck. I'm not going to deny. Like, look at her. She's got purple hair. I've always liked unicorns. And did you know that they talk about unicorns in the Bible? Yes, they do. Just saying. Man tells us that unicorns aren't real, that they're, that they're made up mythical creatures, just like they say the same thing about dragons, but they talk about unicorns and dragons in the Bible. Just saying. All right. We're going to try for just one. I think in the past when we've used this deck, we always get more than one, but we're going to try for just one. And we got two. So there we go. Like I said, we don't always necessarily get what we want. We get what we need, right? Okay. No need to do. This looks like maybe a weasel or a ferret or something laying in a hammock. There's one finger sign saying do this, and there's another one saying do that. And he's just laying there chilling. Yes, it is neat. There's, so many things have been altered and disguised by mankind. I mean, even as far as like our own history in this, in the last couple hundred years, they're, and even now, to more now than ever, probably. Well, we're probably just now noticing it, honestly, because, we're a new generation, but so many times they have tried to erase history. I was watching, this is totally off topic, but I was watching a video on YouTube the other day about, little children that remember their past lives. And I wish I could remember her name. There was a girl that, anyways, I won't go into the whole story, but she remembered being in a building that got hit by a plane. And of course, her mother automatically thought of 9/11, right? I mean, that's happened in our generation. But that's not the one it was. They actually found out that it happened in the 1950s. And it was it the Eiffel Tower? I think it was the Eiffel Tower that got hit by a plane. Well, anyways, I could be wrong about which building it was, but her mother took her to that place to try to help her kind of, set that spirit free, so to say. And do you know when they went, there was nothing. Like they had it was like set up like a museum type thing. They had nothing about the plane that had hit that building in the 1950s. And the little girl said to her mother, "That's why I'm here, to make people remember." Man, I wish I could remember what that built. I want to say it was the Eiffel Tower, but I could be wrong. All right, nonetheless, here we go. They're trying to erase our history. They always have, because they don't want us to be able to see that everything that's happening now has happened before. The more we realize that, the more we're able to connect the dots, the more we can break out of that box that they call the matrix. All right. I am exactly where I need to be. Exactly when I need to be. Shut up. What was I just talking about? Okay. There's nothing more I need to do. I mean, yes, there will always be laundry and taxes, but in terms of my life's path, I don't need to do anything because I'm already here. I take a deep breath, relax, and trust. And then in quotations, it says, and then do laundry. There you go. We're exactly where we're meant to be. And then we got authenticity, a typewriter with a megaphone. What did we talk about in the devotion and in here? Being who you are, loving who you are, loving your true, raw, authentic self for the good, the bad, and the, yet to come. Confirmation. Authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. And we got feelings. Look at that. Dude, come on now. I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it. But at least they know it because I've said it. And that's way better than leaving a passive aggressive note about it. Wow. Full circle. Full circle. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Okay, now we'll get an animal spirit oracle. Our little mini deck here. I did used to have this in the full size deck, but when I reordered it, I went with the mini deck instead. All right, we got fish on the bottom of the deck as we're starting. What's on the top? Phoenix. That we got that last time. All right. Turtle on the cut. I think we've gotten that one before. Turtle, turtle. Snake. Especially in Christianity, the snake, the serpent gets a bad rap. But whale. Whales sing a beautiful song. Butterfly. Transformation. Metamorphosis. The children's story at church on Saturday was about butterflies. All right, let's try for just one. We never do. We never get just one, but we'll try. We got starfish, spider, and horse. Starfish, spider with the rainbow web, and horse. I think we've gotten horse before as well. No, it was zebra that we got. We haven't gotten horse yet. All right. My feet are getting cold. I may have to shut the window. I've been trying to have the window open just to let in the fresh air and so we could hear the rain. All right, we'll go with spider first because that's the one I got to first. Creature of prosperity through life's work, Dharma. The spider is an indigenous creator, an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of Dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tears nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process oriented rather than results oriented. And soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, and forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. And then horse is right after that. Momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. Excuse me. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. A horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, like exercise, and mental focus, like meditation, are the exact weapons behind the horse's legacy. And that's crazy because I was just thinking about that this morning. I woke up very stiff and sore this morning, and I really got to get back into my exercise routine. So there's my message for the day. Thank you, Spirit. All right. When in balance, achieves anything, never gives up. When out of balance, runs away, feels weak. To bring into balance, strength training. All right. And then we have starfish, which is water energy. So we got earth and water today. 2 earth and 1 water. All right. The starfish. Beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is, these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. What have we been talking about this morning? Thank you, Spirit. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? Bam! When in balance, uplifting, artistic, and expressive. When out of balance, gossips and feels empty. To bring into balance, find positive friends. That's what I'm here to be. I'm your positive friend. We can acknowledge the negative because, as we've already talked this morning, ignoring it doesn't help anything. Acknowledging it, seeing it, but choosing to focus on the positive, that's the true talent. That's the true goal. Wow. Okay. It will never cease to amaze me. It just won't. Like I keep saying, I'm going to get used to it, all the dots connecting the way they do, but it will forever baffle me. Because it happens in the most unexpected ways. All right. Now we'll get a card from the Archangel Fire Oracle, and then we'll jump into the Mary Magdalene, and then we'll be done. We are at, it's 34 minutes exactly on the timer. I will get on Amazon today, and I have several different decks that, like I've put on my list, saved or whatever. So I'm going to get on there today and pick which one I'm going to order. So, by the middle of the week, we'll have a new deck. Rick Biel and Jeremy L on the cut as we're getting started. All right. We really do just want one this time. Just one, because these have a long message. Please, just one. Just one, please. And I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I've got me some black lights to go around. It's like the strip lights, like these, you know, the sticky ones, but they're black lights to go around my tapestry in the living room. My good vibes only tapestry. I don't know why that just popped in my head. Okay, that is so not one. We're not going to read all these, but we will acknowledge them. And this guy we've seen before. Adnachiel. Adnachiel. He looks like a Tarzan guy. Camiel, we've seen him before too, the Native American. I do not even know how to pronounce that. Soquedhozi. 2 words. He's like looks like kind of like a magician, like he's walking a tightrope. Tightrope. And then we have Ariel, the only female that flipped out. We got 10, 12, 7, and 3. Okay, like I said, we're not keeping those. These cards really do have a long message, so we just want one. I won't hesitate to acknowledge them, but there we go. That was a woman. Sophia. That's, if you're comparing it to kind of like to the tarot cards, Sophia, I think, compares to, it's either the High Priestess or the Empress. But card number 38, she's dressed in blue. She's holding a skull and like a, I guess like an urn or a bottle with a rose. She's surrounded by white roses. She has a star halo. There's a moon and the sun on either side of her. So duality. Okay, let's do it. Sophia, card number 38, which breaks down to an 11. She's an, let's see. She is the first angel of the diamond ray, suit number 17. Her color is the clear light of source, composed of the entire full color spectrum. Chakra is infinity, outside of space and time. Healing qualities, the divine I am presence. Crystal associations, diamond, quartz, selenite, pearl, essential oils, white rose, the star and constellation, the sun, and the great central sun, the source of light. So hence the sun and moon in the picture. All right. Wow. Okay. I read ahead. Sorry. Let's do this. Okay. Her message is unconditional love. Often linked with the female ascended masters of compassion, namely Isis, Mother Mary, and Mary Magdalene, and Kuan Yin, Sophia, whose name means wisdom in Greek. And didn't the guy say something about the Greek oracles? Yes, he did. All right. Is the angel of unconditional love and the wisdom of the heart. Said to be one of the first archangels created, Sophia belongs to the order of the Sephirim and covers all aspects of love, including maternal love, familiar love, romantic, and unconditional love. As with Rickbiel, you can call upon her for help with any issue connected with the heart. For this nurturing, gentle angel can resolve misunderstandings, heal heartbreak, and help you find your true soulmate. But this humble ancient being rarely takes credit for her work, preferring to stay in the background, subtly encouraging peace and universal love for the planet. Dude. She watches over avatars. And I don't know if it was in this video or the devotional video, but I talked about this avatar. I don't say that often. Dude, this is crazy. She watches over avatars. So if you have pulled this card, you may be one of the few on a I don't even know how. Bodhisattva. Bodhishiv. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Path of compassion, compassionate service to humanity. Depicted as a pregnant Mary Magdalene in her card and known as the Heavenly Mother, she is also the guardian of the zodiac, who births the essence of the stars on earth to help us see the bigger picture. She loves without judgment and can teach you to have compassion for yourself to overcome past issues. Shut up. Like, this. If you're watching this, you need to go watch the devotion video that I posted before this. Her lesson confirmation, 10 o'clock on the dot, real time, and I just got a notification. Somebody that's watching this needs to go watch the daily devotional video. Her lesson is that if we can love ourselves, then we can fall in love with the entire galaxy. In the Bible, she was said to be crying over man's reluctance to listen to her wisdom. But perhaps as more and more people on the planet begin to awaken, she will get her wish. The color I associate with Sophia is an almost cosmic, luminous, pearlescent diamond-like the moon with flashes of pink and deep magenta, the ray of the universal heart. Her message: do not fear the depths of your own emotions nor the heights of your exuberance. Humanity is undergoing a shift. Find your inner sanctuary as your emotions deepen and soar. Look at that. Look, nothing happens by accident. Feelings, sanctuary. Nothing is coincidence. I call my cat Sophia. There you go. Maybe this message is gonna open you up to something. Maybe that's just the connection for us. Nonetheless, there's no coincidences. All right. Now more than ever, it is necessary to hold ourselves to the deepest love and utmost compassion. The energies playing out on this planet have become more intense than ever before. As Archangel Anachiel, we saw him. Didn't we see him? We saw him. We acknowledged him. Has shown us we are all pioneers. Never before in our collective human history have we experienced a time like we are in now. It is vital that we remain centered in love with deep compassion and respect for each other and all life. Sophia asks that we treat ourselves and all life like precious children, overcoming judgment and returning to a space of unconditional love and gentleness as often as we can. Softening towards ourselves will help to open the way for others to embrace their softness too. Whoa. Right. I just keep thinking that one of these days I'm not going to get that shock and awe factor, but I do. Every time I get the shock and awe. I'm not going to say it renders me speechless because that's really hard to do, but shock and awe. Shock and awe. All right. Now we'll jump into the Mary Magdalene and then we'll be done. At 44:15 when I looked at the timer. I think that's probably the deck that I'm going to try to get is the numerology deck. I've been saying for a while that I was going to get that one. It'll just depend on how much it is. I try to catch them when they're on sale. You know what I mean? I am a thrifty person. I try to save where I can. All right. Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? Lightning. I don't know if you could see it on the camera or not. Ooh. When I did that made me think of Lion King. Ooh, do it again. With the hyenas, Whoopi Goldberg, do it again. All right. Disney has come up in both videos today. Which I do the videos so close together. I'm pretty sure it was Peter Pan came up in the devotion video. Now Lion King's coming up in this video. We're not going to keep these because there's multiple, but we will acknowledge them. The heart. I carry a cathedral within me. Love never ends. Golden light. Healing comes from within. And the legacy. Love is always legendary. So love. A lot of these cards reference love. We just want one, please. Just one. This is the Mary Magdalene Oracle by Megan Watterson, or Megan, however she pronounces it. Illustrations by Moon Jube. All right, the rose. I trust divine timing. Everything comes from within. Page number 64, which breaks down to a 10. All right, here we go. So much of our lives, for so many of us, is focused on what happens outside of us, on what we do or produce. And what we produce or earn or accumulate is then linked to a sense of self-worth, a sense of purpose, and even a sense of status or importance in the world. What we have forgotten is the majesty of what cannot be seen or quantified. We have forgotten about cultivating a capacity to love and to be loved. We have forgotten that tending to the essence of who we are is our most important occupation. We have forgotten that the most powerful contribution we can ever offer is not actually something we can point to outside of us, sell, market, or frame and put up on the wall for praise. The most powerful contribution we have to offer the world is the love we become. Many of us have a very clear idea of what external accomplishments we want to achieve by a certain point in life. And if we don't live up to those expectations, we judge that we have failed. But we cannot force or contrive the cultivation, the embodiment, and the rise of the soul. This form of soul work happens in Kairos, which is the Greek word for the soul's timing, divine timing. Linear time is incredibly useful for an ego to function, which is essential. But linear time has nothing to do with the essence of who we are or what offering we can make of our lives. The rose, a symbol of the divine feminine, which goes with Sophia, represents an inner surrender that cannot be timed according to the ego or any external circumstances. The rose is about remembering what we cannot force ourselves to, that we can slow down, Ashley. The rose is about remembering that we cannot force ourselves to ripen. We cannot will ourselves to be anyone else other than exactly who we are in this moment. That goes back to our affirmators, authenticity. If we accept the beauty of where we are right now, we allow the ego to loosen its grip of linear time. If we remember that an entire universe is perpetually in the process of bloom from within the heart, we can be curious about what might be unfolding for us. We can trust our own divine timing. And the soul voice meditation for that card, what can I trust is unfolding in its own divine timing? I don't know if I did the videos so close together that they're kind of blurring. I don't know if I said it in this video or the devotion video, but we do get hung up on the timing and of the physical of it all. But if we can let go of the expectations of how we think it's supposed to go or what we need or what we want, and just put our faith in something higher than our physical bodies. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's worth it. And one of the many things that my mother taught me while she was here on this earth, the best thing to do is usually the hardest thing to do. Because we're meant to learn. We're meant to grow. And the only way that that really happens is when we step out of our comfort zone and force ourselves to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. You know, getting stuck in a comfort zone is very easy to do. I was stuck there for a long time. But once you get comfortable, once you do it multiple times, pushing yourself out of that comfort zone, just like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more practice you have, the more comfortable you become with the uncomfortable. You'd be surprised at the environments and situations that people can become comfortable in. And so much so, there are people, I've been there, we get so comfortable in dysfunction that peace and rest and harmony become uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Like, you really would be surprised when you're in something for so long that you can just get used to it. And it's not until you break out of it, whatever it is, that frame of mind, that physical situation and environment, just like a stagnant, stuck place in your life, you don't realize how much that weighs you down until you break out of it, until it's not there anymore. And that weight is lifted. And of course, you know, with us being humans, there's always something there to replace it. You know, we are prone to carrying that cross of burden, but we're not supposed to. The spirit realm is there to carry that for us. But so many of us have in life had to fend for ourselves, and for so long we've carried the weight of the world on our shoulders that we don't even realize we're carrying it anymore. So I want to encourage anybody that comes across this video. I know it's hard. I know it's scary. It's uncomfortable. And it may even seem almost impossible. But if it does seem impossible, start with something little. But try to let go of those things that are weighing you down. There's an old song. I can't think of who sings it right now, but it talks about putting down your baggage. But I'll give an even better example. In the scripture, it tells us you cannot put old or new wine into old wineskins. Okay, and if you've seen the series The Chosen, they give a very good example of that. If you know anything about making wine or any kind of fermented juice, back in the day, wineskins, it was animal skin that they used. Well, when it gets old and dry, it gets brittle. So if you put new wine, which is still actively fermenting, into an old brittle skin, that skin is going to break and you're going to lose all your wine, right? So the spirit world is doing a new thing, and they want us to be a part of it. We need to be a part of it. But in order to be part of the new, you have to let go of the old. It's just part of the process. Because if you're constantly clinging on to old, whatever it is, whether it's a way of just the way you live your life, the way you think, the way you feel, And I'm not saying it as if it's easy. I know it's not easy. I know it's not, because I live it every day too. I'm just like you. But it is worth it. Baby steps if you have to. I'm never that person just to jump, jump in feet first and, just give my all. Life has taught me not to be like that. But baby steps, small little goals to accomplish a bigger goal. Put one foot in front of the other. And eventually you'll get there. But if you don't start, then you'll never get there. It's like, I would rather get there late than not get there at all. Whatever your destination is, when you let your mind drift and you imagine the possibilities for your life, whatever that destination is, if you don't start walking, you'll never get there. Even if you just tiptoe, eventually you'll get there. But if you just stay where you're at, you'll never get there. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I love all of you. I hope everybody has a peaceful, positive, productive, pleasant day today. And always remember, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life. And you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.